and welcome back to Listen, I Have an Idea. My name is Heidi and it is the most exciting time of the year. It is NaNoWriMo. It has been a whole year since I've made a video and a lot has happened in that time. I've done a lot of traveling, a lot of personal growth. Absolutely no writing has been done in the past year. I haven't opened up Scrivener pretty much at all. Haven't done any writing, nothing. So all of my projects have been on a halt until right now. That brings us to the reason why we are here today, and of course, it is NaNoWriMo. Without fail, there's always something going on around the month of November for me personally, and this year is no different. If you're watching last year, you know that I had to end early on NaNoWriMo because I went away on a trip. I went to Italy with my sister. Welcome to Italy! We had a fantastic time. It was wonderful. We saw so many things, experienced so much, ate so much great food, great wine, saw so much art, beautiful, beautiful art, the old historic buildings. We had an amazing time on that trip. This year is no different. I just returned home from a 12-day trip of the UK. My family and I, we went to Ireland, Scotland, and England and spent the days just touring around. We did a whiskey tour. We saw all of the sites. Again, so much art, so much great food. It was wonderful. At this current moment, it is November 2nd, and I returned home yesterday, November the 1st, at about 9 p.m. So there hasn't really been a lot of time to write or do anything. That said, I did write yesterday. I have completed the first little bit of goals. Before we jump ahead and get into what I am writing, I figured I would take you back to some of the videos that I made for Preptober that did not end up making it into a full video. Let's get into those clips. I will recap what project I'm going to be working on for this November. I will show you the content that I filmed yesterday, which isn't a lot, and then I will do my actual Preptober prep because I have not done anything up until this point. So let's jump into it and let's start writing. Hello and welcome back. Today I come to you a little wet, a little rainy in a forest in Scotland. I am on a trip with my family currently and we are due to be back the very first day of NaNoWriMo this year. So I will be writing on a plane. That is my plan. In terms of NaNoWriMo this year, I am definitely pantsing it. But I decided that I'm going to be redoing, or I guess continuing, the book that I started last year. It is very rainy today, but I have to say, so far this trip has been wonderful. Most of the weather has cooperated. Today is a little bit of an exception. There is a giant river right next to me, which is so full of water and it's running quite rapidly because apparently there's been an unprecedented amount of rain in Scotland this year. It's also extremely muddy, so I have to watch where I am walking. There is that river and all of the fall colors are just gorgeous. In case you weren't around for last year's NaNoWriMo, the story that I started is called Paging Dr. Lonely. It is a romance novel that follows Nate, who is a single uncle, I guess, raising his 4-year-old niece. He is a doctor, and then he falls in love with the beautiful Mara, who is a figure skater. She is also a single mom. That is basically the premise. Last year, I got about 16-ish chapters in. I'm going to be 100% honest. I have not reread anything since the very end of last November. I have not written anything over the course of this past year. This year has been insanely busy. A lot of personal changes, a lot of work changes, a lot of traveling, which has been absolutely fun. So that is where I am at this moment. If my memory serves me correctly, I think I finished around 50,000-ish words last year, just above the finish line. This year, I don't care how many words are hit. I would obviously like to finish the story. Will that be 50,000 words? Probably not. We will see where that brings us. My brother is up ahead, but look at this beautiful bridge. It is insane. All of these views that I've been experiencing over the past couple of days have been phenomenally pretty. Well, our trip, my current trip that I'm on, I'm with my brother, my sister, my dad. We did a couple of days in Dublin, a day in Belfast, a couple of days in Edinburgh, and right now we are currently on a Scotch tour of northern Scotland. After this, we're heading to Glasgow, and then to London, and that is the trip. As you saw, I am continuing last year's project, Paging Dr. Lonely. I figured that for this point, since it's been such a busy October and I guess beginning of November to create a new project for NaNoWriMo is not something I have the brain capacity for. I also have so many works in progress that have not seen the light of day. I just need to finish something. So that is what we're going to be doing. As I said in the previous clips, I finished around chapter 16 of Paging Dr. Lonely. So I've started on chapter 17. And let me just say, before we get into the clips that I filmed yesterday very sporadically during my hectic travel day, I actually think that the writing went really well. I don't believe that this project will take me to the 50,000 word goal, being that I'm on chapter 17 and I think I've plotted up to about 25, 26 chapters. So that being said, if I finish this project, I will be moving on to finishing a different NaNoWriMo project. I can't remember which year it was. I think it was 2021. I had a project called Campus Crush, and that one I've been thinking about quite a lot over the past few months, and I think that's the project that I would also like to continue working on. A lot of the stuff that I had written during that NaNoWriMo, I'm going to rework quite a bit because I've had other ideas surrounding it that I think work better with the timeline and the plot of that story. That being said, if I get to that this November, wonderful. And if I don't, I'm just glad that I'm working on continuing a project that I started. Yesterday was a very long travel day. We ended up waking up around 4:30 in the morning to get ready, to catch a train, to get to London Gatwick, to then take our first flight of the day from London to Dublin, to then lay over there for a few hours, and then fly home from Dublin to Toronto, and then get home after that. It was a very long day. Writing in that circumstance was not the easiest. I ended up doing all of my writing on the plane from Dublin to Toronto. That way I could get all my ducks in a row. I made sure that my Scrivener was all set up on my phone because I was not bringing a laptop with me. Writing on my phone honestly was not the easiest. I didn't really enjoy it. That being said, it was very productive. So without further ado, let's watch those few clips that I have from yesterday, from the very first day of NaNoWriMo, November 2023. Welcome to the Dublin airport. We're on our way to collect our bags so then we can connect and go home. Currently in the Dublin airport, transferring between terminals. We just got off our first flight. We're on our way to the second flight. Getting weird looks from my family. But it's a beautiful day. Great day for flying. Great day for writing. Time to board. We had a few hours left of the flight when I started. It was 5:15 UK time when I got into my Scrivener document and started chapter 17. I hadn't even gone into Scrivener yet to add chapter 17. So here I am starting it, writing it, adding it, making sure that it was there and we were good to start. So as you can see, here's me typing my opening line to chapter 17. This chapter is in Nate's perspective, so we're seeing a little bit of his emotions come out, and we will see a lot more of his emotions through the next couple chapters. There we go, 5:59, the first sprint is done, 649 words. And at the very end, this next clip that you're seeing is after I finished everything. So we are at 1,841 words. I put the times in here as if I was writing in Toronto, like at home in my home time zone. So that's why it says 2 to 4:30. But there we go, the first 4% is done. And of course, we have to sync the Dropbox. Now it is time to do the actual Preptober prep that I should have done in October that I didn't. What I have on the agenda is I have to make sure that my Scrivener document is set up properly. Since I am continuing Paging Dr. Lonely, which had over 50,000 words before, I'm going to move around my documents so when I do the daily targets, you can see exactly what I've written for this November, which will show the 50,000. So let me pop into Scrivener. We'll do that. Afterwards, I got to make sure that my NaNoWriMo website is all set up correctly because I did that on my phone and it was kind of glitching. So I got to make sure that's good. We're going to do the badges on there. Then I'm going to actually print out a physical calendar, which I normally have off to my right, and I write my daily totals on there so I can see it as a visual. Not much I can do until we update it. So we are in Scrivener right now, and I don't know if you can see along the side here, I have where it says manuscript. So this is what we are working with. This is what I have open. You can see there's all 17 chapters. 17 is what I started on day 1, so yesterday. Basically, I'm going to move all of these chapters into manuscript 2022. I'm going to leave chapter 17 up in the main manuscript area, but I'm going to pop all of the rest down into 2022. That way it doesn't count it as part of the targets. So if you see the targets right now, it includes all the words that I did yesterday and then everything from last year. And I just want it to say 1841 of the 50,000 for this year. Okay, let's see. I think I can do it from in here. We can move them all into 2022. There we go. So now when I do this, perfect. It now shows me exactly what I need, and I can still access them. They're still nice and close. Eventually I will move them back over, but for right now, they are there. All right, next order of business is the NaNoWriMo website. So like I said, I did this on my phone. It was glitching quite a bit. I just need to make sure that everything was done correctly. So the challenge is this one, obviously 2023. It is Paging Dr. Lonely. Does it show? It just shows that. Goals. Okay, so it does show both of them. According to this, it looks like everything is set up correctly. The last order of business is to change up this calendar. We have this year's ready to go. We will remove that to get rid of all of our weekly totals and start afresh. Just remove it. Of course, we have to write the first day's total on it. So it's even after all that prep, I still feel like I'm forgetting a bunch of things, but we'll figure it out. We'll get it sorted. You may be wondering what I'm going to be doing for the videos for this month. My plan is to make a video every single day for all of November. They're going to be shorter vlogs. This one will probably be an exception. All right, that is going to be it for today. I am very much looking forward to this November. It's going to be a lot of fun. I think it's going to go by really fast, but we are going to have a great time because we're going to make it a great time. Okay. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you tomorrow. Until then, happy writing. Bye.